This is the man seeking to remove President Museveni from power after 40 years. He has incredible support among the young people. As Bobi Wine arrives, so goes the crowd. There is nothing like it.
Bobi Wine wants Ugandans to sing a new tune. The musician turned politician is running for president for a second time. In a free and fair election, can you beat President Museveni?
If 2021 was a free and fair election, I would be president already.
Will this be a free and fair election?
This is not an election to begin with. This is war.
Can you walk us through what exactly happened in Fort Portal based on your reporting?
Thank you, Amanda. But Bobi Wine, whose real name is Robert Kyagulanyi, has been arrested and beaten and had his rallies disrupted by security forces more than 24 times since he entered politics. His supporters often meet tear gas, live ammunition, and detention. The government insists it is enforcing public order law. But the pattern, targeting one candidate repeatedly, has drawn condemnation from the UN and foreign embassies, raising questions about the fairness of Uganda's electoral landscape ahead of crucial polls.
Is this a story about one man, or is it a story about the state of democracy itself in Uganda?
Well, our investigation tracked 200 plus opposition rallies since 2020. The violence isn't random. It correlates exactly with rallies that meet two criteria: large youth turnout and a candidate polling above 20%. Bobi Wine happens to be the candidate who consistently meets both. If it weren't him, it would be someone else. The system is designed to identify and neutralize the strongest challenger. Bobi Wine is the symptom, the disease system is the cause. So yes, this is a democracy story. It reveals that Uganda's institutions, the police, the electoral commission, even parts of the judiciary are not neutral referees. They are players defending one side. Bobi Wine is just the man currently caught in that machinery.
Those international media sometimes are inciting, especially when African countries are having elections. Next year we will be having general elections here in Uganda. Please tell people like Madowo not to step their feet here. I saw what you did in Tanzania, but I don't want to see you here in Uganda. You will see fire.
I'm proud to stand with all the brave Ugandan journalists who have been attacked and or detained by security services today while doing their job. Authorities must immediately release those who are still in detention, apologize, and hold those officers responsible accountable. Journalism is not a crime. Why won't you be allowed to campaign freely?
Well, I believe it is fear. It is fear that General Museveni knows that he has no support. Every time I go out to campaign, I know that somebody is going to be beaten, somebody is going to be killed, run over by the police, shot with live bullets, and all that.
The UN Human Rights Chief has condemned widespread arbitrary arrests, detentions, and the use of unnecessary or disproportionate force against the opposition.
A few weeks after Ugandan President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni warned CNN reporter Larry Madowo into stepping foot into Uganda during these general elections, after the aftermath of what happened in Tanzania after their general election, the killings, the destructions of properties, and also a lot of murder that were covered by Larry Madowo afterwards. So yesterday, Larry Madowo was in Uganda amidst all the threats and warnings from the president of Uganda, Yoweri Kaguta Museveni. And the first interview he had with Bobi Wine, the competitor and the rival of Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, who is also known as Robert Gulanyi. Yes, so Larry Madowo is currently in Uganda and is covering all the election campaigns that is taking place in Uganda, all the dictatorship that is taking place actually currently because of the campaigns. Because you find that in Uganda, the competitor of Museveni, who is Robert Gulanyi, also famously known as Bobi Wine, has been forced to stop into different places and also has been forced not to go to some places to campaign for votes. So we are also praying for Larry Madowo to be safe and also to be protected, because that is an international community. That is an international media, which is the CNN. So Larry Madowo should step foot in almost every country in the world because he's an international reporter. and is just reporting live what is happening. So what is Uganda, headed by their president, Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, trying to hide from the world that they don't want the world to see, and also to be reported by the brave and confident CNN reporter from Kenya, Larry Madowo.
All right, welcome back, family. Whenever you see Larry Madowo in the country, then the entire world is watching that country. So today we have seen Larry Madowo in Uganda. Then this means that the entire world is watching the country of Uganda, and this has happened after the warning, tough warning, from the Ugandan president, Dr. Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, after he warned Larry Madowo not to step his feet in the country of Uganda. But why? Because Larry Madowo has nothing personal to do with these African leaders. This is the first thing they have to know. He has nothing personal to do with these African leaders or African countries, because all that he's doing is what he's supposed to be doing, because that is his duty. These are media personality, and he's not doing things on his interest, but he's being sent to go and do all that he's doing. He's just going to represent the media of CNN, but he has nothing personal to do with all these leaders. So there is no need of him being threatened, because he has nothing to do with you. He's only performing his duties, and his duty is to come to your country and find the story to give out, so that the world can know all that is happening in your country. Now, welcome back to the Black History. We are here to uncover the hidden truth. Now, this is the only place you will find the truth that your media is not able to show you. So stay tuned and feel comfortable. What was the reason of Yoweri Kaguta Museveni limiting or telling Larry Madowo not to step in the country of Uganda? Because of all that happened in the country of Tanzania. President and the government of Tanzania warned anybody. He warned all journalists across Africa not to enter the country of Nigeria. So for Larry Madowo to come out with the documentary of Tanzanian election, it was not easy. So he had to use his own personal mind and idea to create that documentary, after finding the support from the Tanzanians, because at that time Tanzania was limited not to access the internet, not to post anything. But he find his way on how to find all those footage so that he can be able to create that documentary, so that the world can be able to know or to see all that happened in the country of Tanzania during that period of election. And it happened successfully. And from there, the government of Tanzania accused Larry Madowo, threatened him, and asked him to go in person in the country of Tanzania, so that he can get the full evidence from the citizen, from the government, which we know that is, the things don't work like that, because you are the victim. How can you invite a journalist to come and find the truth from you, and if at the same time you are the one who is responsible for everything that happened? Everything that has been reported, you are the one who is responsible for. So I think something different is being prevailed here. For Larry Madowo to come, because he never just come in the country of Uganda because he wanted to come, but he came with a purpose, with a duty, and he came to the during the campaigning of Bobi Wine, the presidential aspirant, who people are believing that he can be able maybe to take out Museveni from the seat or from the power. And as you know, Museveni always said that he cannot allow anyone to challenge him, to challenge his power. Because, you know, now Museveni always believes like the country of Uganda belongs to him. That's why he always say that, don't try to challenge with my power. So this issue of Museveni saying that he don't want medias like CNN or Larry Madowo in the country of Uganda, this means that he's trying to silence even the media, because that is what he has tried to do for so long. by silencing everyone, silencing the voice of the youths, silencing the voice of the citizens. Today, the people from Uganda pretend to be well and okay, but deep down, they are feeling burdens. They are carrying their burdens in their hearts. They don't have freedom. They don't have peace, but they pretend to, because they were installed fear by their own government. Today, everyone who try to come out challenge and maybe try to ask the vote so that he can challenge the power of Yoweri Museveni and try to feel like he can be able to rule the country of Uganda and take this governance or this regime out of the long-term served President Kaguta Museveni. They are being silenced. They are being locked away. Today we have the history of one of the a politician by the name Kizza Besigye, who has been locked out for so long just because he was trying to speak about how bad governance is in Uganda, how corrupt government of Uganda is, and how the government of Uganda is unaliving people, taking advantages to the people, oppressing people. But because in this country you're not allowed to speak the truth, you're not allowed to come and expose anything that's happening in that country. That's why they are all locked away. They have tried to destroy Bobi Wine for so long, but because the Bobi Wine has support and protection from the people, that's why he has been able to survive up to this day. So I believe something different is going to happen here, because Larry Madowo going to meet Bobi Wine here is something that the people have to take to pay attention. Because today, Larry Madowo is one of the journalists who the people have really believed, have put hope in. And they believe that once Larry Madowo has stepped in a place, there must be a change. There must be a change because he's going to amplify the voice of the people who have been oppressed. He's going to amplify the voice of the people which has been oppressed and depressed for so long, which has been silenced. Because Larry Madowo is trying to show up. He's trying to expose how cruel, how bad African governance is. But they are not ready to accept this, because they know what they are doing. If you are a good leader, you are doing good doing your things in a good way, which is supposed to be done to the people, then you don't have the reason to hide anything. So if you can be able to limit even the medias not to access your country, then this means that you have something that you are hiding, that you don't want people to know or to realize. By this time, African news have taken a different path. African people or youth are doing something that the world never expected, and the African leaders never expected, because they used to come and do everything they want to do, and the African youth were just there, silent, quiet, watching over, being oppressed, being taken away, being abducted, and they had nothing to do with it. So because today the African youth have awakened and they are ready to fight for anything that comes out on their way, which is not for the building, it's not for help, but for destruction. They are ready to fight anybody who comes to destroy their vision. That's why you are watching all these great African leaders are so they are so trembling. They have tense because they know how these people are coming, how powerful they are coming, how powerful they are reacting, how powerful they are doing their own things. And for the youths, today African youths and the Ugandan youths are fighting for the Bobi Wine. But how sure are we that he will come to change the system of governance in the country of Uganda? Because I remember once upon a time, great Maponga said that Ugandan President Museveni is not the problem of Uganda, but the system is the problem. Because the system today that is governing this country, even if today we have someone who is different from Museveni to come and hold this position, he will still come and continue ruling this country with the same system, which will not bring any solution or any change. Because how the system has been set by the people who were there before, it is the one that is controlling everything that's happening in this country. So for them to find a new governance and the good governance, a responsible governance, they have to fight for the change of the system. How? By fighting for the new constitution. That's all. That's all. That's all they need. Because once you have a new constitution that gives the power to the people, then you have already done all. This will represent you to everything. Today you see the country of Kenya. The youths and the citizens are able to come out and stop even the president from addressing the nation. The youths are able to come out and make the public servants to be fired. The youth are able to come out today and make the cabinet to be dissolved, because the constitution gives them power to challenge the governors, to challenge the president, and to demand their rights, and it must be handled or listened up. So the country of Uganda today, the country of Tanzania, they're having one thing in common. They're still all working or operating under the colonial constitution system, which only gives power to the president. So even if you, as the people, you come out to fight or challenge the president, he has the right to come and destroy you all, and you have nothing to do. You have seen what happened in the country of Tanzania. You have many people, thousands of youths and citizens lost their life just because they were coming out to ask for the reform in the electoral board. They were only coming out to ask for their rights, to demand their justice after election. But what happened to them? They never left went back to their families. They never went back to their homes. They were destroyed. They're eliminated. And there is nothing to do with it, because the power, the constitution demands, redirects that nobody is allowed to go and challenge the power of the president. And that is what is happening. That's why we are coming out to fight for the justice, for the change, and for the change, total change in these two countries. So salute to Larry Madowo for exposing the truth, because without Madowo today, some of us will have not been able to know the true thing, the reality of all that happened in the country of Tanzania during the election period. Thank you for being here. You are doing great for tuning in each and every day. Continue subscribing. You are doing great for what you are doing. I appreciate your support. Let's continue moving together. Let me have your views in the comment section, and I'll come back to react on the next episode. Maybe bless watching from I love and appreciate you, and be blessed.